Hey guys, welcome to Quick and Easy Meals, which is hosted by Simply Grace Lifestyles, Jean Home Decor and More, and my mountain home and kitchen. Enjoy. All right, my bubblies, let's get to cooking. Now, if you want to see how I'm going to transform these few simple ingredients into a quick and easy side dish, could even be a nice meal. Y'all keep watching because here goes everything. Now, what we're going to be making today is what we're calling Kolby's beans, and this again is going to be hearty enough to serve as a entree itself, along with maybe a nice crusty bread on the side and perhaps a beautiful salad. Now I'm just laying out my items again there. We have a pound of ground beef, a wrinkled up green bell pepper, a few jalapeno peppers, and an onion. I'm going to use half of that onion. Okay, so next I have chopped up the bell pepper, those jalapeno peppers, and half of my white onion, and we're going to add this to the pot with our ground beef. So there's our pot with our ground beef, and I'm going to go in with some of this multi-purpose seasoning, this complete seasoning here, just a little bit of it. I'm going to break up the meat, and then I'm going to add in the vegetables that I chopped. But first, let's add a little bit of pepper. And next, the vegetables that we chopped are going in. We're going to stir to combine and then brown off the meat. So again, we are just browning our ground beef, which I've added our jalapeno peppers, green bell pepper, and onion to, along with a little bit of complete seasoning and black pepper. Gonna brown this off and then drain it, and then we'll proceed to the next steps. Now y'all, this is going to be a very quick and easy side dish. This is part of our 4th of July, Kolby's birthday, Patrick's send-off meal. My oldest son is moving out of the city down to the opposite end of Texas from where we currently live, and we're going to be celebrating him along with Patrick, along with Kolby, and the 4th. So y'all keep on watching and let's see how this side dish, or simple meal as I say, comes into. Back to check on the browning ground beef, and while it is finishing up its last bit of browning, I'm going to go ahead and work on the bacon. Our ground beef has now browned up nicely, and I'm going to head over and start on the bacon. We're going to use these first 3 rows here, 1, 2, and 3, and these here on the end. I'm going to brown them up and on to the next step. Back to the stove top we go. Now we're going to partially fry our bacon up. That remaining piece of bacon we're going to put inside of a freezer baggie and use it for seasoning something else another time. We're almost there. We're just partially cooking, as I said, because y'all, this is going to go on top of what we're making, and it will bake in the oven. So it doesn't need to be fully cooked. I'm just trying to render some of the fat from it. I'm not trying to brown it. All right, y'all, I am back. I got to talking to my daughter on the phone, and so it got a little browner than what I wanted, but it's still fine. Those drippings are going to be amazing to use in some future cooking, but I'm going to go ahead and take this off of the heat, set it aside, drain it, set it aside, and we're going to proceed to the next. All right, so we have our ground beef, which I browned off with those peppers, the bell peppers and the jalapeno peppers and the onion. I'm going to put those back into the pot. And next, I have everything else that's going inside of this dish here. I went ahead and opened up the beans. These are just the Bush original baked beans that were poured in there. I started to get 2 cans, but I just didn't want to have a whole bunch of food because it's just 4 of us who will be present, and probably I should have got an extra can. I might end up going and getting another can and adding it to this pot too. But for now, there are the beans. Next, I'm going to go in with the mustard. On the mustard, I'm using about half of this 8-ounce container of mustard in there. Next, I'm going in with about half, if not the entire 8-ounce jar of sweet relish here, just as is. Let me see what that looks like. Yeah, we're going to do half. That's about good. This time that I'm making it, I'm going to go ahead and go in with a little bit of the Stubbs Original Legendary Barbecue Sauce. It reminds me of this one sauce that's bottled that I really liked. I'm not going to put a whole bunch. That's probably, what, about a quarter cup. And finally, we have our light brown sugar. I'm going to put in probably about quarter to half a cup of this, but I've got to use my other hand. I'm going to say it's about half a cup. And next, we're going to stir to combine all. I think I'll probably end up adding more mustard, just because I like the tartness of mustard. Then again, maybe I won't. Let me get this stirred up, and let's see. Okay, so we have it all combined. I'm going to go in with a spoon here and just give it a taste see. That's good. I am going to add a little bit more mustard to it, give it another stir, and then we're going to put it inside of the pan. All right, I'm gonna pour this into the pan as best as I can with one hand, because although you have probably see that reflection of the ring light in the background, I'm still filming, holding onto the phone itself. All right, so the beans are now inside of this pan. We're gonna go on and sprinkle the bacon that we've rendered the fat from. All that's left to do here is to cover it with some aluminum foil, put it in the refrigerator, and it will be ready to bake off tomorrow. So let's get this baby into the refrigerator and on to our next dish. Now fast forward to the morning of the 4th of July. We have taken our beans out of the refrigerator, put them in the oven for approximately an hour at 350, and now it is time to serve. It's time to dig into this piping hot, sizzling, sassy, saucy, sweet and savory dish. Let's eat. Now, y'all, we're going to go ahead and enjoy this. Y'all come back next week for another quick and easy meal.